My name is Robert Voisey. I am the director of 15 Minutes of Fame. This particular 15 Minutes of Fame is 15 1 minute works that are written for clavichord, specifically for the performer Monica Chu. She's a composer and clavichordist, and she has been wonderful enough to pick actually not just 15, but she picked 30 pieces. This is going to be the first set of 15 for 15 Minutes of Fame for the clavichord. Monica Chu is an Oakland composer and pianist who celebrates presenting rarely performed music and new works from around the world. A gifted player with an affinity for deeply sensitive expression, she lives in Oakland with her husband, an 1899 Steinway B, a clavichord, which we're about to see in full view. I'd like to bring on a couple of the composers to introduce themselves and just say a little bit about their work.
Okay, well, my name is Christine Jancarz, and I'm from Michigan. I went to school at Western Michigan University, and I got my DMA at the University of Miami. Um, and my piece is modal melody, and it actually goes back to my pop rock music roots because I'm kind of when I was young, I was self-taught and I played in a band and stuff. So I didn't start my formal training in composition until I got to college. So enjoy.
Awesome, Christine. Thank you. Let me bring on Tamsin Jones.
Right, okay, I'm from the United Kingdom and I work in Newcastle upon Tyne as an associate lecturer in the International Centre for Music Studies there, which is part of Newcastle University. But I'm also a professional composer. I'm very interested in early music, and so I chose to call this particular piece a Preludium, the very, very old fashioned, archaic title, but that reflects my fascination with early music. And also, please listen out for a couple of special techniques for the clavichord. One is called the doigt, which is when the performer raises the pitch of a note by pressing on the key. And the other is called Bebung, when the performer is able to make a kind of wobbling tone by oscillating with the finger. So I've probably gone on for much longer with the piece itself. Okay, but please, thank you very much.
I'm Jim Dalton. I live in Rhode Island. And I teach up in Boston at the Boston Conservatory at Berkeley. Yeah, I've been there for 22 years now. I actually own a clavichord, which I bought, probably about 40 years ago now. And it's not a great instrument. It was built from a kit, and I bought it from the dean of one of the music colleges in New Jersey years ago. And what that did for me, though, was between having to tune it myself and the process of learning how to do that, that's part of what led me to what I've spent a lot of my last few years doing, is writing microtonal music and being interested in different tuning systems. Now, obviously, that's not going to happen here. Because of the nature of the instrument, it's got to be in one tuning for all of the pieces. But what I did manage to do with this piece is hit all of the keys. Anyway, figure if I can't go microtonal, at least I can,
Make sure
have.
nobody's left out.
Right, exactly. So, yeah, I hit all of the keys. Um, they are all major chords except one in that short, probably about half of the time, in about 30 seconds. You hear all of the keys, one of them being minor, and then there's a little bourrée, like a Baroque dance, um, that is a canon between the left hand and the right hand.
Awesome. So great. Thank you, Monica. Wow. Awesome. So our next composer is Stanley Hoffman. Let me bring him on. Hey, Stanley, how are
Hello.
you?
I'm doing well. How you doing, Robert?
I'm doing awesome.
But I've been living in the greater Boston area since 1977 and attended the Boston and New England conservatories and then Brandeis University. So I've been, through the academic gamut here. And I've been composing all along. And for many years, I also worked as editor for 23 years at E.C. Schirmer Music Company. So I was also able to get chops doing music engraving and editing. So anyway, about this piece. So it's based loosely on the prelude in C minor from the Well-Tempered Clavier by Bach. The harmonies of this work have actually been on my mind for years, and I was waiting for a harpsichord opportunity to arise, but this clavichord opportunity gave me a reason to commit these harmonies to paper. So
Fabulous. Awesome. Thank you, Stan. Can't wait to hear an idea that's been brewing for a while.
it's kind of minimalistic and maximalistic at the same time.
Coleman, and I teach music theory at Pensacola State College and University of West Florida. And the idea that I had for Monica Chu's call for scores, what are you poking at, Dorothy?
The clavichord.
Dorothy, that's not a clavichord. That's my clavicle. Now, the idea that I had was nothing much more than a head motive and some scribbling that was in a sketchbook 3 or 4 decades ago. And so, Monica, your call for scores sort of motivated me to make a fugue out of it. And so, glad and honored to be part of another 15 Minutes of Fame broadcast. Rob, thank you, and Vox Novus for creating these opportunities, and thank you, Monica, for making the call for scores possible. I hope you enjoy the concert.
Hi, I'm David Edgar Walther, the artistic director of the Acting Singers Project in Boston. I was really blown away when I first heard Monica Chu perform, and I knew I had to send her some music. I sent her my jig, a theme with 8 variations. I hope you enjoy jig.
Hi, my name is Willyn Whiting, and I'm a Canadian composer. Currently, I'm in Winnipeg, Manitoba, and on today's program, I have a miniature called Corals, and this piece is based on a story from Ovid's Metamorphosis. Like every other part of the story, something transforms into something else. In this case, plants are turned into stone, and this is the origin of corals in our oceans today. And I was really struck by the image. I thought it'd be a great piece of inspiration for my miniature for Monica.
Hello, my name is Ben Brafford. I'm in Greensboro, North Carolina. I'm an organist, choir master, arranger, composer, pianist, and piano teacher. It's an honor to be included today on the program of pieces for the clavichord, one of my favorite instruments, and also a favorite of Johann Sebastian Bach and so many Baroque composers who used the movement of the saraband in many of their suites. I've always appreciated the expression in the saraband, and I added some new harmonies to bring it forward into the future a bit.
The piece that I wrote is called Anticipation, and I wrote it imagining what E. Jean Carroll might have sung to herself, thinking about what she would do with her $83 million in settlement money and her successful defamation suit against Donald Trump, who is our presumptive GOP nominee for president. So, it's sometimes it's hard to live in the world, but I think we should celebrate our wins when we can, and writing that piece was part of that for me.
I am a composer and cellist, professor at the National University of Music from Bucharest. And my work, Dracula's Rag, is a miniature dedicated to clavichord virtuoso Monica Cheu and evoke the style of the movie comedy from the early classical Hollywood era of American cinema.
Thank you. That was so fun, and I really loved working on all of your pieces, and thank you so much for writing all those pieces for me. It was such a pleasure to spend time with them.